Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. So we are going to start the Maitreyi Brahmanam as the fifth Brahmanam in the fourth chapter. Now this is actually a repetition, okay, because this Maitreyi Brahmanam we already saw as the fourth Brahmanam in the second chapter itself, but it is repeating here with very small changes here and there, okay. By and large, it is the same thing. So, Bhashyakara is now giving an introduction why this is repeating. Okay. So, let us see that. Agama Pradhanena Madhukandena Brahmatattvam Nirdharitam. So, the first two kandas here, or the first two chapters, are called Madhukanda because the Madhu Vidya is there also, correct? So, Madhukanda, there the Brahma Tattva was revealed. The Mahavakya Aham Brahmasmi and all is part of that, correct? Is part of the fourth Brahmanam in the first chapter. In the second chapter also, Brahman was revealed as Satyasya Satyam. And again, Brahman was revealed in the Ajatashatru Brahmanam also, correct? But in all these cases, the Shruti was revealing one's own reality as Brahman. And it was mainly Agama Pradhana, Bhashyakara says here. So there, the Shruti Vakyas themselves are the Pramana for us to understand our reality. Then what happened? The third chapter started. There Yajnavalkya goes to Janaka's court, where Janaka has announced that whoever is the best here, he can take 1,000 cows along with the gold which is tied on their horns, etc. Okay. So the Brahmanas then debate, and Yajnavalkya debates different Brahmanas and then emerges victorious, you can say. 9 Brahmanas in the third chapter. Initial 3 chapters are all Upasana Para, but 4th to 9th is very, very Vedanta Para, Brahma Para. Okay, Nirgunam Brahma is revealed as yet Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma, like that it is there. In the third chapter only it is there. Yes, Sarvantaratma, like this Brahman is revealed as the self of all, which is direct. Okay, Sakshat means you know it without any means of knowledge, without any intermediary factor being involved. That is the Sakshat, direct, or we can even say it as Aparoksha, we say, correct? It is neither Pratyaksha nor Paroksha, it is Aparoksha, means that is the Sakshat there. So in that manner, Brahman is revealed, and also it is Aparokshat. There Bhashyakara gives the meaning of Agauna also. It is not Gauna, it is the direct. Brahman meaning is the direct meaning, it is not figurative or anything. So that Brahman was revealed with Upapatti, he is saying, with some reasoning and all that. Okay. So the reasoning is Pradhana there. Whatever was revealed by the Shruti was again revealed using more analogies and reasoning so that you can assimilate it better. So Upapatti Pradhanena, Yajnavalkiyena it is said, or it is called Munikanda also. Because Yajnavalkya is the Muni there. But Yajnavalkiyena Kandena, Bhashyakara says the Kandas which are dealing with Yajnavalkya, correct? Yajnavalkya Samvada. So initially he is debating with all these Brahmanas. Later on in the fourth chapter, he is teaching Janaka, correct? He is the Guru, Janaka is the Sishya. So the third chapter only he is primarily first Bhashyakara is saying, Upati Pradhanena Yajnavalkiya Kandena Paksha Pratipaksha Parigraham Kritva Vigrihya Vadena Vicharitam. So the same thing, using reasoning, it was Vicharitam, means what? It was analyzed and assimilated. Vigrihya Vadena means basically a discussion in the form of a debate. That is what is called Vigrihya Vada. And in any debate, there is a paksha and a pratipaksha, correct? There is one proposition and there is an opponent or opposing proposition. So in that manner, opposing views are presented, and then the truth is arrived at by analyzing and discussing. Also here, debating and discussing, you analyze it and arrive at the truth. So in that manner, in the third chapter, it was presented. Then fourth chapter is saying, Shishya Charya Sambandhena cha Shashte. Again, in Bhashyakara's numbering, the first chapter is the third chapter. So here when he says Shashte, don't get confused, because we are in the fourth chapter only, even now, correct? This Shashte means he's talking about the fourth chapter only. Shashte Prashna Prativachana Nyayena Savistaram Vicharya Upasamhritam. Okay, up to the previous Brahmana, what? There is a Shishyacharya Samvada is there, correct? The discussion between the Shishya and Acharya. Here Janaka is the Shishya, Yajnavalkya is the Acharya, and between them, whatever the conversation happens, the Sambandha, that is the connection, that was shown again, okay, in the form of question and answer now. In the fourth chapter, in detail, Savistaram, Vicharya, Upasamritam, already it has been analyzed and it has completed now, correct? The previous Brahmana. So now this Maitreyi Brahmanam is started again. So what he says is, Atha idanim nigamanasthaniyam Maitreyi Brahmanam arabhyate. So one reason for repeating the Maitreyi Brahmanam is, it is like the Nigamana. See, in the traditional Nyaya, when you present an Anumana or inference, you present it in 5 parts. Okay. So you present the Anumana always in 5 parts. What are those parts? The 5 parts are interesting. Okay. So first we have pratigna, means the proposition. In English, pratigna is proposition, means whatever you want to really prove. That is the proposition, correct? Or the pratigna. For example, the hill has fire. Okay. So Parvataha Vannima. So the hill is the one with fire. That's what you want to prove. But fire is not directly visible, correct? That's why you are doing Anumana inference. What is the hetu? Because you see smoke, correct? Dhumavatva, the hill is with smoke. You are seeing smoke on the hill, therefore you say that fire is there. How can you say that? What is the connection between smoke and fire? Means already I have seen it in the kitchen. Okay, Mahanase. So yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vanhihi yatha mahanase. So wherever there is smoke, there is fire, like in the kitchen. That is the drishtanta you give, or udaharana. Then again you say, but how does it apply here? So you have given a general rule that wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Correct? Now again you say the hill has smoke. Correct? So in this case, we are seeing the hill with the smoke. That is called Upanaya. And finally, the conclusion. Conclusion is the same thing as the proposition. Okay? Which is, therefore, the hill is having fire. Like that, again, you have to complete. Correct? The hill has smoke, therefore the hill is having fire. These are the 5 parts of the traditional inference. But in fact, mostly we don't use these 5-part inference. Understand that? We use only 3 parts, correct? Hill is having fire because there is smoke, and wherever there is smoke, there is fire, like in the kitchen. Like this, you can say that. But this Nigamana Sthaniya is saying this Maitreyi Brahmanam is in the place of a Nigamana. Means you are again restating the Pratigna. That means in 2-4, whenever Maitreyi Brahmanam came, Bhashyakara is taking that as a Pratigna there. And then the hetu and all in the form of upapatti, he said already in the third chapter, correct? Different upapatti. Even the 2-5 Madhu Brahmana also is some kind of a upapatti only. Okay, because there whatever is interdependent must have a independent third entity to support the interdependence. That was presented, and that independent entity is Brahman. That's how the Madhu Brahmana, it was present, the Brahman was revealed in that manner. So here, having given the Hetu and then Upanaya and all that, we have to assume the rest of the chapters are like that. This is the Nigamana. Again, it is restating whatever Pratignya was done in the second chapter, fourth Brahmana. So this Maitreyi Brahmanam repeating can be taken like a Nigamana in a traditional presentation of Anumana. And he is quoting that also. He is quoting the Nyaya Sutra to make the point. He is saying, I am Chanyayaha, Vakya Kovidaihi Parigrihitaha. So this, whatever Nyaya, this is all Vakya Kovidaihi means those who are experts in Vakya, means basically in all this sentence, understanding the sentence. Means it is basically the those who are experts in linguistics and all that you can take, or even in logic. So they have accepted this. What? Hetu Upadeshat Pratignayaha Punarvachanam Nigamanam. So after giving the Hetu Upadeshat, that is the second step. Typically the Drishtanta is the third step in Apanaya. But finally what? Pratignayaha Punarvachanam, repeating, stating the Pratignya again is called Nigamana. Like this, in the Nyaya Sutra it is given. Bhashyakara is quoting the Nyaya Sutra. Hetvapodeshat Pratignayaha Punarvachanam Nigamanam iti. Okay, so if you don't want to accept this logic, then he is giving some other logic. Okay, if you don't want to take this as a Nigamana Sthaniya, the Maitreyi Brahmanam repeating, he is saying no, Athava, otherwise, what? Agama Pradhanena Madhukandena Yat Amritattva Sadhanam Sasanyasam Atma Jnanam Abhihitam. So, otherwise, what he is saying, this keeping the Agama as the Pradhana, as the main thing, in the Madhukanda, the Amritattva Sadhanam was given. How to gain immortality, correct? In fact, that is the question in the Maitreyi Brahmana, correct? How do I gain Amritattvam? Because Yajnavalkya wants to take sannyasa and he wants to divide all his wealth between his two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. And then Maitreyi asks, see, you are giving me all this wealth. Now, let us say, suppose I have the wealth of this entire earth. Will it give me immortality? Amritattvam means, Yajnavalkya says, there is no hope. Nityena naiva asha, he says, there is no asha. So there is no hope. With wealth, you will have immortality. You will have a lot of things. That's all. In fact, it can be a pain. If you have too many things, who is going to maintain all that? That itself is a pain. So he says there is no way you are going to get immortality. Then what is the sadhana for that? Means sasanyasa, sasanyasam, atmajnanam. Atmajnanam is the sadhana for that, correct? Atma va are drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Like this most famous statement is part of the Maitreyi Brahmanam only. And again, to gain this Atmajnanam, sannyasa also is a anga there. Okay, it is a part of this because the sannyasa lifestyle is the closest or it is the most suitable for a Atmajnani because doing karma is not making any sense for an Atmajnani because the Atmajnani does not look upon oneself as a karta bhokta. Then why should he do any Vaidika karma? Particularly in a Vaidika culture, it makes a lot of sense to take sannyasa because otherwise you are expected to do nitya karma, nainitya karma, all karma you have to do. You cannot escape that. The societal pressure also is there a lot, correct? If everybody in your community, in your household is doing their nitya karma, nainitya karma, or even some kamya karma and all they are doing, you will also be expected to do that. But the Veda itself is giving you an option to choose a different lifestyle where you give up all this karma and that lifestyle is more in keeping with your with your jnanam, or it helps you to assimilate this Atma Jnanam also. That's why Sasanyasam Atma Jnanam Abhihitam. So this Atma Jnana was presented there along with Sannyasa. And then what? Tadeva Tarkena api Amritatva Sadhanam Sasanyasam Atma Jnanam Adhigamyate. So that same Atma Tattva, Atma Jnanam, which is the Amritatva Sadhanam, correct? Which is the means for gaining Amritatva, along with Sannyasa, Sasanyasam. Even through Tarka also, you understand the same thing. That's what we saw in the 3rd and 4th chapter and all that. And that he is explaining that also. Tarka Pradhanam hi Yajnavalkiyam Kandam. So the Muni Kanda or Yajnavalkiya Kanda is Tarka Pradhana, means it is basically giving reasoning so that you can assimilate whatever is presented or revealed by the Shruti. Therefore, what Tasmat Shastra Tarkabhyam Nischitam Etat. So this thing that sannyasa is a sadhana for Atma Jnanam, and through that it is an Amritatva sadhanam also. It is now established by both Agama and Tarka. So that has been, it is Nischitam, correct? Shastra Tarkabhyam Nischitam Etat. Therefore, Etat means here that this sannyasa, Sasanyasam Atma Jnanam is the sadhana that has been ascertained now very clearly. What is that? That's what he's saying. Yed etad Atma Jnanam Sasanyasam Amritatva Sadhanam iti. So this Atma Jnanam along with Sannyasa is the Amritatva Sadhana, is the means for Amritatvam or immortality, has been established by both the Shastra and the Tarka. Therefore, what Tasmat Shastra Shraddhavadbhihi Amritatva Pratipitsubihi Yetat Pratipattavyam iti. Therefore, what those who are having Shraddha in the Shastra and those who are desirous of gaining this immortality, correct? Amritatva Pratipitsubihi. So by them, this has to be understood. Pratipattavyam. So therefore it is repeated again, he is saying. Okay, because the sannyasa part, Bhashyakara wants to again highlight, because the Maitreyi Brahmanam is repeated. He says that this sannyasa as a sadhana is again reinforced, that one has to understand that. So that's why it is getting repeated here. And also further he explains what Agama Upapattibhyam hi Nischitaha Artaha Shraddheyaha Bhavati Avyabhicharatiti. And again, where can you have Shraddha, or on what you can have Shraddha? Means that which has been revealed by the Shastra, and that is also in keeping with the logic or reasoning. At least it should not be against any, it should not be illogical, correct? Whatever has been revealed by the Shastra and that which is not illogical, and also it is more or less in keeping with your experience and all that, correct? It goes along with your life experience. That is the one which is fit to be uh, taken as valid, correct? That is the Shraddheyaha Bhavati, because it doesn't change. What has been revealed by the Shastra and also it is in keeping with logic, means it cannot be negated by anything. That's why it is Avyabhichara. It cannot be negated, means it cannot change that. It is ascertained as this, means it is that only. It cannot change. There cannot be a different understanding of that. Therefore, what Aksharanam tu Chaturthe Yatha Vyakhyataha Artaha Tata Pratipattavyaha Atrapi. Okay, again, here in this repeating Brahmana, Aksharana means what? All the words, etc., which are there here, their meanings have been already given in the 4th Brahmana of the 2nd chapter. So you have to understand it in the same manner, he is saying. Okay, Tata Pratipattavyaha Atrapi. Here also you have to understand similarly. Yani Aksharani Abhyakhyatani Tani Vyakhyasyamaha. But whatever, see, I told you certain things are slightly different here. So Bhashyakara is saying that alone I will again explain. Okay, which has not been already explained, I will explain that. Something which is different or new. Okay, So the first verse itself is not there in 2.4. Okay, this one is there only here. What is that? Ataha Yajnavalkyasya dve bharye babhuvatuhu Maitreyi cha Katyayani cha. So atha means thereafter or now. Okay, means after whatever has happened before, correct? The previous Brahmana, in the previous Brahmana, whatever has happened after that. Okay, so here he is saying now Yajnavalkya is there, means ha means something which has happened before, okay, in the past. That's why that ha is a particle, and that ha Yajnavalkyasya. So Yajnavalkya had two wives, Ve Bharye Bhabuvatuhu. And what are their names? Maitreyi cha Katyayani cha. Maitreyi and Katyayani, two wives. Okay. In that what? Tayorha Maitreyi Brahmavadini Babhuva. So amongst them, Maitreyi is the Brahmavadini. So she is the one, she has studied Shastra, right? That's why she is a Brahmavadini. She can discuss about Brahman. She is highly evolved. And the other one, Katyayani, is what? Stri Prajna Eva Tarhi Katyayani. This Stri Prajna means what? Like a typical woman of a household. Katyayani was more interested in whatever, taking care of the household, all the different duties which come with that, correct? So she was very good at that. But she was not interested in immortality or anything. She was not a Brahmavadini. And therefore, what Ataha Yajnavalkyaha Anyad Vrittam Upakarisyan. Okay, in fact, this sentence stops. It will continue in the next Ventika here. Means, therefore, Atha again here. Now what? This being the case, whatever Upanishad has explained, the two wives are there. One is a Brahmavadini, another is more interested, or another is just a homemaker, let us say. Nowadays we call it homemaker, correct? So she is a Stri Prajna. She has, means she is a homemaker. And now what? Yajnavalkya wanted Anyad Vrittam, means he wanted a different lifestyle. Already he is a householder. What kind of different lifestyle he can desire now means he wants to embrace a life of sannyasa. That is the meaning here. So desiring to take up sannyasa, like that it hangs. He says something to Maitreyi. That is the next thing. Okay. But now what Bhashyakara says here, Atha iti hetu upadesha anantarya pradarsanartha. So Atha means it comes in the anantaryartha generally. Atha word can come in the meaning of thereafter. Thereafter means after what? You will ask, correct? That's what Bhashyakara says. After the hetu upadesha anantarya means the upadesha which was given before, which is based on reasoning. That is what is called hetu upadesha here. Whatever teaching which was done based on reasoning, after that, this is now being presented. What is that? Again, okay. Then he actually again gives a note. He's saying hetu pradhanani hi vakyani atitani. So whatever he was there in the previous Brahmana, correct? Atitani, whatever has gone by, they are all mainly, predominantly based on reasoning. So hetu pradhanani hi vakyani atitani. The previous sentences were all predominantly based on reasoning. But now what? Tad anantaram agama pradhanena pratignyataha arthaha nigamyate Maitreyi Brahmanena. So after that, but again by by the statements of the Shruti itself, whatever was originally proposed, okay, the proposition here nigamyate means it is being again concluded. Nigamanam means you can take it as a conclusion. So with this Brhaiteyi Brahmana, whatever was previously stated is again concluded. And ha shabdaha vritta avadyotakaha means ha shabda says that something which has happened in the past. Okay, it shows that, it reveals that. And what happened in the past, or what was there? Yajnavalkyasya rishehe kila dve bharye patnyau babhuvatuhu astam. So for Yajnavalkya, who is a rishi, two wives were there. Okay. And Maitreyi cha namataha eka. So the one with the name of Maitreyi, apara Katyayini namataha. The other one is having the name of Katyayini. Okay. Tayoho bharyayoho Maitreyi hakila Brahmavadini Brahmavadanashila babhuva asi. So amongst the two, Maitreyi is the one who is the Brahmavadini, means who has the character to talk about Brahman. Means to talk about Brahman and discuss Brahman itself requires a certain pakwa, correct? Certain maturity. So she had that maturity. The other one is what? Stri prajna, striyam ya uchita, sa stri prajna. So whatever is proper for a lady of the house, that is called stri prajna. Saiva yasyaha prajna. So the one who has that thought or that alone as their main pursuit, let us say, means what Bhashyakara is explaining. What is Uchita for a stree means? He is saying Griha Prayojana Anveshana Lakshana means Anveshanam means supervising and all that, correct? Looking after Griha Prayojana means whatever is useful for the household, she is looking after all that. That is the characteristic of this three prajna. Sasti prajna eva tarhi tasmin kale asit katyayani. So at that time, Bhashyakara also says at that time, maybe later on Katyayani also could have gained a certain maturity and she might have seen Maitreyi talking to Yajnavalkya and she could have also got interest. But at that time, at least Tasmin Kale, Katyayani was only interested in household work and all that, taking care of the household. So Atha Evam Sati, though this being the case, thereafter what? Ha Kila Yajnavalkya. So indeed Yajnavalkya what? Anyat Purvasmat Garhastya Lakshana. So Anyat means whatever was there before. Garhastya means Grihastha. Taddita Pratyaya is Garhastya. So that which is characterized by Grihastha and the lifestyle. Vrittat means you can take it as lifestyle. So the lifestyle which is characterized by being a householder. So from that, he wants to take another lifestyle. What is that? Parivrajya Lakshanam. That which is characterized by Parivraja means going from one place to another means sannyasa. Because in those days, sannyasis were not expected to stay in a place for more than 3 nights. So they keep on going from one place to the another only during Chaturmasya, which ended today, in fact. Correct? This year, Chaturmasya ended today. During Chaturmasya alone, they stay in one place during the monsoon. And they teach also at that time. Even today, that tradition continues. Our sannyasis, they stay in one place and they have every day in the morning, evening, some classes, some bhashanam they give. It is very good. So the Parivrajya Lakshanam Vrittam Upakarishan Upachikirshuhu. So desiring to embrace a life of Parivrajya, being the one who is desirous of that, then what did he do? That's what is continuing now. Being the one who is desirous of that, what did he do? He says, Maitreyi iti hovacha. He called out to Maitreyi, hey Maitreyi, desirous of taking sannyasa, he now calls out to Maitreyi. The fact that he called out Maitreyi means he has some, she is somebody special. Okay, that also we know. He didn't call Katyayani, he called only Maitreyi. And then what? Yajnavalkyaha Prabrajishyan va are aham asmat sthanat asmi. So what he is saying? I want to take up this Prabrajishyan means I want to take up Parivrajyam. That is the meaning. So I will be taking up Parivrajya means I will be taking sannyasa. Okay, and so he is calling her Are Maitreyi. Are means oh my dear, like that. Okay. So desiring that I will be taking sannyasa, therefore what asmat sthanat means garhastyat from the grihastha correct? Okay, grihastha asmat sthanat asmi. Okay, aham asmi bhavami. So I will be leaving this whatever grihastha ashrama, and I will be taking up sannyasa. That's what he is telling her. Okay, Prabhradishan asmi asmat sthana. Okay, hanta te anaya katyayanya antam karavani iti means, hanta means here, it is basically an exclamation. So here you can take it as, if you permit me, something like that he is saying. Okay? Then what? Since I want to take up sannyasa, I want to finish the business between you and Katyayani, he is saying. Antam Karavani means I want to uh, bring it to an end. Means in this case he wants to divide all his wealth and give it to them, then leave. Okay? That's what he is saying. Antam Karavani. So what Bhashyakara says, but here also it is slightly different from the whatever is there in 2.4. That's why Bhashyakara is written a little bit. So He Maitreyi iti Jyeshtam Bharyam Amantrayam Asa. Again, Bhashyakara says since he called out Maitreyi, she must be the elder wife. Okay, so she is the elder wife. Jyeshtam Bharyam Amantrayam Asa. So uh, calling her and discussing with her what Amantre cha uvachaha Brajishan Paribrajyam Karishan Vai Are Maitreyi. So I will be taking up sannyasa from this grihastha ashrama, he is saying. Okay. So Paribrajyam Karishan Vai Are Maitreyi Asmat Sthanat Garhastyat Ahamasmi Bhavami. So I will be taking up sannyasa from this, whatever sthana means, this status currently, which is one of being a householder. So I want to take up a life of a wandering monk, you can say, okay. So Paribrajya is a life of a wandering monk. And Bhashyakara here says, Maitreyi, hey Maitreyi, Anujanihi ma. So he is asking for permission from her. If you permit me, Anujnya and all we say, correct? To take Anujnya. Even in Tamil we have Anujnya. Same thing. Anujanihi means what? May you permit me. So that, so also there is a tradition that generally if you take sannyasa, you have to take the permission of your wife. Okay. So that is there. But some people don't do that also. They just vanish. That is also there. But in general, here at least Yajnavalkya is showing the way. We can say he is going and seeking the permission from her. So again he says, Hanta Ichchasi Yadi. So Hanta, for Hanta, that exclamation, Bhashyakara is giving the meaning, if you so desire, then what? Te Anaya Katyayanya Antam Karavani Ityadi Vyakhyatam. So he is saying, Bhashyakara says, I have already explained this. So basically what is the meaning? I want to divide up my wealth between the two of you with Katyayani, you and Katyayani, and finish all my business so that I can leave without any encumbrance. Okay, then what? So at this time only she asked the most important question. Okay, so she is saying no. Sahovacha Maitreyi Yennu Mayam Bhagoho Sarva Prithvi Vittena Purna Syat Syam Nu Aham Tena Amrita Ho. So Pluta, okay, three is there. Neti Neti Hovacha Yajnavalkyaha यथा एव उपकरणवतां जीवितं तथैव ते जीवितं स्यात् अमृतत्वस्य तु नाशास्ति वित्तेन इति. Okay, so sa means here again the one who has been told like this by Yajnavalkya, she, the Maitreyi. Now she says, Vacha, what? Yennu mayam bhagoho. Bhagoho means again she is addressing Yajnavalkya as Bhagavan. Hey Bhagavan, bhagoho. So nu is like it is the one, correct, which is uh, a negative kind of a thing or whatever. She wants to actually say that is it possible like that, to ask like that? Okay, so she is asking, suppose I have the entire wealth of this Prithvi, this earth, correct? Sarva Prithvi, Vittena Purna Syat, which is filled with all kinds of wealth, correct? This Prithvi. it is filled with all kinds of wealth. And hey Bhagavan, aham syam means if it is mine, okay. By that, then what? If all these things are mine, correct? Yennu me yam. So yam Prithvi, which is filled with all this wealth, if it is me means mine. Okay, if it becomes mine, then what? Aham tena amritaho na iti. Means by that will I become immortal or not? She is asking that. Okay. Then what Yajnavalkya, what does he say? He says, Neti, Govacha. No, you will not get Amritatvam, even though you may have the entire wealth of this earth, of this world, you will not get immortality. Why? But he even says, what? You can have all these things, you will still have a life like somebody who is having lot of things. Okay, Yatha, Eva Upakarana Vatam, he says. Upakaranam means all kinds of facilities, correct? The one who has lot of comforts, facilities, you will also be like that. The one who has lot of things with you, Yatha eva upakarana jivitam. So, however is their lifestyle, however they are living, that's how you will also live. Okay, athaiva te jivitam. That's how your life also will be. Jivitam syat. And then he makes the most important statement. What? Amritatvasya tu na asha asti vittena iti. So, uh, by well, there is no hope of gaining this immortality. So, with well, you may have a lot of wealth, but it will not give you immortality, amritatvam. There is no hope, he is saying. Means another way also we can look at it. If you have a lot of wealth, you can do a lot of karma. Understand that. Because without wealth, you cannot do even dharma karya. To do dharma karya, you require a lot of wealth. But just by doing karma, you can still not get moksha. Understand that. Because moksha is not a karma phala. But that karma, whatever you do, if you do it as yoga, then at least you will prepare yourself for moksha. Correct? But by just doing karma, there is no hope of you getting moksha. So with lot of wealth, you may do lot of karma. You may do lot of good karma also. But good karma will give you some life in some good loka. That's all. Once that karma is over, punya is over, again you have to come back. So that is not moksha. So there is no hope of gaining moksha with wealth, and which actually means that by karma. Okay, by doing karma, you cannot gain moksha. Okay, then what does Maitreyi say? Maitreyi says, Sa hovacha Maitreyi, yena aham na amritasyam, kim aham tena kuryam. So, so that by which I cannot become immortal, what will I do with that? She's asking. Yena aham na amritasyam. So by which I will not be be immortal. Kimaham tena kuryam. With that, what will I do? Like this, she is saying, Maitreyi hovacha. And further, what she says, Yadeva Bhagavan Veda, Tadeva me Puruhi. So now you are taking up sannyasa to for gaining this amritatva only, no? Then you tell me whatever you know, you tell me now, you teach me. That's why she is a Brahmavadini, correct? She asked that. So, Bhashyakara, Sa eva ukta uvacha Maitreyi. So the one who was told like this is Maitreyi. She is saying, no, what? Sarva yam prithvi vittena purna syat nu kim syam. So this, so if all this this wealth of this earth, okay, which is filled with all this wealth, with that, what will I do? Or what is it for me? In it for me. So with that, kim aham vitta sadhyena karmana amrita aho nasyamiti. So amrita aho, that is what is there in the Upanishad Vakya here as amrita aho na iti. Amrita aho na means, will I be amrita? Will I be immortal? Again, Bhashyakar also here he says, Vitta sadhyena karmana. So by Vitta, she is not just meaning wealth. Wealth is again a means for doing karma, and whether the karma is a means for amritatvam or not means no. Okay, that's what she is asking. So will this, if I do a lot of karma with all the wealth you are leaving me, with that will I get amritatvam or not? Means what did he say? Neti hovacha yajnavalkya ityadi samana manyate. So again, what Yajnavalkya says no, and rest of the things he has already commented in 2:4. So it is all similar, he says. Then what? Hearing this from from Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya is very pleased. So he says, Saho vacha Yajnavalkya priya vai khalu no bhavati sati priyam avadhrit priyam avruddhanta tarhi bhavati etat व्याख्यास्यामि ते व्याचक्षाणस्य तु मे निदिध्यासस्व इति. So Yajnavalkya now says, what does he say? Priya vai khalu naha. So for me, you are already dear. Okay? Priya vai means already you are dear to me. But now what? By asking this, you have become even more special for me. Okay, that's what he is saying. In fact, my love for you or Priyam has now grown further. Avadhrit, okay, Avadhrit hanta tarhi. So Avadhrit means what? Vardhitavati, Bhashyakara says. So it has grown further because you asked me this question, which is very dear to me. This, whatever this subject matter of immortality is very dear to me, and you know that, and so by asking this, you have become dearer to me. And further what? Therefore, I am very happy. I am ready to teach you. So if you desire, he bhavati, etad vyakhyāsyāmi te. So I will explain to you. I will teach you this thing. And whatever is being taught by me, correct? Vyachakshanasya tu me. So by me, whatever is being taught by me, whatever is being described or explained by me, meditate on that. Meditate means what? You pay attention, then you think about it. Okay, meditate on that. So that means you have to pay attention. That's what he wants to, by saying nididhyasasva, he is making her very attentive. Be focused on whatever I am saying. Don't be thinking about something else. Then you will miss whatever I am saying. So he wants her to focus on whatever he is saying. So he is saying nididhyasasva, may you meditate on whatever I am saying. And then comes the most important teaching. Correct? This is a very, very important thing. What is that? Saho vachanavare patyuh kamaya patih priyo bhavati atmanastu kamaya patih priyo bhavati. So then Yajnavalkya says to Maitreyi, what does he say? Navare, hey my dear, patyuh kamaya patihi na priyaha bhavati. The pati, the husband is not dear. Okay, because for the sake of husband. But why is the husband dear or pleasing or whatever lovable? For your own sake. Correct. Atmanastu kamaya pati priyo bhavati. So even for the wife also, the husband is lovable, pleasing, dear. Why? Because I like whatever he does. I like however he behaves. I like. If I don't like whatever he is doing, then the love will become allow. Like that my Guruji used to say. Eh, initially you love somebody, later on you allow them to go. So love will become allow. So even the love for the husband is not for the sake of husband, it is for your own sake alone. Similarly, or Nava, okay, it is not that Upanishad is only talking about husband like this. The other immediately it says what? Nava are jaya yai kamaya jaya priya bhavati atmanastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. Wife also same thing. The love for the wife is not for the sake of wife. It is for the sake of oneself alone. So Paramarthanandji used to say this, that he has seen matrimonial advertisements and all that. Okay. What he is saying, farmer with so much land is looking for a bride with tractor, something like that. Correct? So, so there at least it is very clear. This fellow is having land, but he doesn't have any tractor or any implements. So whoever is ready to give that, he is ready to marry that lady, whoever it is. So like this, he used to joke. Okay, so from that only it is very clear. Okay, Jaya is not Priya for the sake of Jaya. She is Priya because she is bringing the tractor. Similarly, what? Nava are putranam kamaya putrah priya bhavanti atmanastu kamaya putraha priya bhavanti. Same with children also. Children are not loved for their sake, but it is for your own sake alone. Similarly, what? Nava are vittasya kamaya vittam priyam bhavati atmanastu kamaya vittam priyam bhavati. Same with the wealth also. Nobody loves wealth for the sake of wealth. In fact, what will you do with wealth? If you don't know to enjoy wealth, some people, very wealthy people, commit suicide and all that. You are wealthy and still depressed. Correct? What will you do with wealth? If you don't know how to enjoy your wealth, then the wealth is not able to give you anything, really speaking. So, nobody loves wealth for the sake of wealth. They think that wealth will give them something. But again, my Guruji used to say, what he used to say is, money has buying power. Nobody can deny that, correct? If somebody says all this is waste and all that, then give me that money. At least I will use it for some good purpose, correct? So nobody can deny that money has buying power. But money can buy books, but it cannot make you read it, correct? That is true. You should already have an aptitude to read and learn and all that. Then the book, whatever money and the book you buy with that will be useful to you. Similarly, what so many other poets also have said, correct? Money can help you buy a bed, but it cannot make you sleep. In fact, with lot of money, you will lose your sleep, I think, because what if somebody comes and steals it? All kinds of worries you have. So money can buy you bed, but it cannot make you sleep. Money can buy book, but it cannot make you read. Like this, we can give a big list. But money can do something. Whether you are able to use that properly or not, for that you require something more. Correct? Anyway, but money by itself, nobody loves money or wealth for the sake of the wealth itself, but it's only based on what it can do for you, correct? For your own sake only, even wealth is dear. Similarly, what? Nava are pashu nam kamaya pashavaha priya bhavanti atmanastu kamaya pashavaha priya bhavanti. Same thing with animals also. Okay. There are dog lovers are all there. Nowadays it is a big topic. So dog love also is not for the sake of dog, it is for your own sake only. Understand that. Now the street dog and all that big discussion is going on in India. Supreme Court has given one verdict that all the street dogs have to be rounded up and put in some shelter. Okay. And people are against that. Some people are going and standing in between the whatever these municipal workers who are trying to round up the dogs and take, and they are standing in front of the vehicles which are carrying those dogs and all that. Okay. But even that dog love is not for the sake of dog, it is for the sake of yourself. Maybe the dog invokes a certain pleased you in you, correct? See, all these things are dear or lovable because it is invoking a pleased you. Anything which invokes a pleased you love that. It is as simple as that, correct? So basically it is you. If something does not invoke the pleased you, then you throw it away, correct? You get away from that. So anyway, Pashunam Kamaya Pashaha na priya bhavanti, Atmanastu Kamaya Pashaha priya bhavanti. Similarly, what? Nava are Brahmanaha Kamaya Brahma priyam bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya Brahma priyam bhavati. Here Brahmanaha, Brahma is all Brahmana Jati. So the Brahmanas are not loved for the sake of Brahmanas, because it is also again for the sake of oneself only. Similarly, Kshatriyas also. Nava are Kshatrasya Kamaya Kshatram priyam bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya Kshatram priyam bhavati. Even Kshatriyas and Brahmanas means every other person also. Everybody in the society also. Different groups of people. You don't love them for their sake. You love all of them only for your own sake. Okay. Then what? Navare lokanam kamaya lokaha priya bhavanti, Atmanastu kamaya lokaha priya bhavati. Again, even the lokas, different lokas, why they are desirable, pleasing, etc. means because it is pleasing to you. It's not for the sake of loka that you want to go to a particular loka. You think that if you go to that loka, you can enjoy. So that is why the loka are also, they are desirable. Further what? Nava are devanam kamaya devaha priya bhavanti, Atmanastu kamaya devaha priya bhavanti. Even the devatas also same thing. In fact, parasparam bhavayantaha, not bhashya. Bhagavan says in the Gita, correct? Sahayajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavospushta kamadutu devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyatha and all. Like that in the third chapter, Bhagavan is saying what? Brahmaji created, along with the yajna, he created all these beings and told them that you propitiate the devas through the yajnas and they will be pleased by that, and in turn they will help you by keeping everything in order. Okay. But if you don't, and so basically mutually you help each other. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyate, then you will gain shreyas, etc. Bhagavan says. But if you don't please the devas, then they can give you adi daivika tapa. Correct? They can afflict you because they have powers. The devatas have immense powers. They can afflict you. So even the devas you don't love for their sake. You love the devas only for whatever work they are doing for you, for the sake, for your sake. And similarly, Vedas. Nava are Vedanam kamaya Vedaha priya bhavanti. Veda itself is saying that. Atmanastu kamaya Vedaha priya bhavanti. Even the Vedas also, you don't love the Vedas for the sake of it. You love it because whatever it reveals is useful to you. In fact, Vedas should have something we say, Phalavat Artha Bodhakatvam. See, generally, Pramana Lakshana, the characteristic of a means of knowledge is Anadigatam Abaditam and all we say. It should reveal to you something unique. Whatever it reveals should not be negatable by anything else. But in the case of Veda, additionally we say, because it is a deliberate means of knowledge made up of words, correct? It's not an automatic means of knowledge like your nose and eyes and all that. Your nose and all keeps revealing whether it is good or bad. You go to some place, it is stinking, but still the nose will reveal that. You cannot say stop. Maybe you can close your nose. But nose will reveal to you whether it is good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. Our eyes also same thing. But Veda, it is not like, it cannot reveal to you useless things. It has to reveal to you something useful only. So we say Phalavat Artha Bodhakatvam. Whatever Artha, whatever it is revealing, the meaning, it should be useful to you. Phalavat, it should be Phalavat. Therefore, the Veda also I love. Why? Because whatever it is revealing is Phalavat. It is useful to me. Not for the sake of the Veda, but because it is revealing something useful to me. Therefore, it is for my sake alone. I love the Veda also. Similarly, what? Nava are bhutanam kamaya bhutani priyani bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya bhutani priya bhavanti. Bhutani means generally all beings. Okay, in fact, nobody can live alone. Everybody is interdependent. We are dependent on animals. Animals are dependent on us. We are dependent on other human beings. And if you accept our Vaidika tradition, even devas are dependent on us because we have to give ahuti to them. And we are also dependent on them because they are only taking care of all the natural forces and all that, correct? Starting with rain, etc. So, all the beings, you don't love them for their sake, but it is all for your own sake, only what they can do for you based on that. But finally, he summarizes what? Navare sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati, atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. So, everything you love, everything you desire, for what sake? Means for your own sake, not for the particular thing's sake. Everything you love only for your own sake. Therefore, what? If everything is for the sake of Atma, everything is conditionally loved. The only thing which is unqualified and unconditionally loved is yourself. That means this Atma should be really the source of happiness, correct? Because anything you love is generally considered as a source of happiness. But all those things are all conditional. But the only thing you love unconditionally always is yourself. Therefore, you have to be the greatest source of Ananda. There is no other source of Ananda, really speaking, correct? Ananda or happiness is not some kind of a, it is neither a Vastu, it is neither a Dravya or a Guna or anything. If it is a Dravya, you can go to market and buy every day. If it is a quality of something, then also you can get that quality on things. But it is neither a quality nor a substantive nor a substance. Means the entire objective world is gone. Because the entire objective world is only substance or quality, correct? Means what else is left? Means myself alone is left. That means I must be the source of all happiness. If I am the source of all happiness, why do I not know that? You know, he's saying. So you know yourself. Don't ask why I do not know. You do not know is already established. You don't have to analyze that. But try to know. So he's saying Atma Vare Drashtavyaha. Therefore, know yourself. Because you are the source of all happiness, better know yourself. And how to know myself is that we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Om